Then Moshe spoke to the heads of the tribes of the people of Israel. He said, "Here is what Adonai has ordered. When a man makes a vow to Adonai or formally obligates himself by swearing an oath, he is not to break his word, but is to do everything he said he would do. When a woman makes a vow to Adonai, formally obligating herself while she is a minor living in her father's house, then if her father has heard what she vowed or obligated herself to do and holds his peace, then all her vows remain binding. Every obligation she has bound herself to will stand. But if on the day her father hears it, he expresses his disapproval, then none of her vows or obligations she has bound herself to will stand, and Adonai will forgive her, because her father expressed his disapproval. If, having made vows or rashly committed herself to an obligation, she gets married, and her husband hears but holds his peace with her on the day he learns of it, then her vows and obligations she has bound herself to will stand. But if her husband expresses his disapproval on the day he hears it, he will void the vow which is on her and the obligation to which she has bound herself, and Adonai will forgive her. The vow of a widow, however, or of a divorcee, including everything to which she has obligated herself, will stand against her. If a woman vowed in her husband's house or obligated herself with an oath, and her husband heard it but held his peace with her and did not express disapproval, then all her vows and obligations will stand. But if her husband makes them null and void on the day he hears them, then whatever she said, vows or binding obligation, will not stand. Her husband has voided them, and Adonai will forgive her. Her husband may let every vow and every binding obligation stand, or he may void it. But if her husband entirely holds his peace with her day after day, then he confirms all her vows and obligations. He must let them stand, because he held his peace with her on the day he heard them. If he makes them stand, because he held his peace with her on the day... Verse 16. If he makes them null and void after he has heard them, then he will bear the consequent guilt. These are the laws which Adonai ordered Moshe between a man and his wife, and between a father and his daughter, if she is a minor living in her father's house. Numbers, chapter 31. Adonai said to Moshe, on behalf of the people of Israel, "Take vengeance on the Midyanim. After that you will be gathered to your people." Moshe said to the people, "Equip men from among yourselves for war. They are to go and fight Midyan, in order to carry out Adonai's vengeance on Midyan. You are to send to the war 1,000 men from every one of Israel's tribes." So out of the thousands of people in Israel, 1,000 armed men from each tribe, 12,000 altogether, were mustered for war. Moshe sent them, 1,000 from each tribe, to the war. He sent them, and Pinchas, the son of Eleazar the Kohen, to the war, with the holy utensils and the trumpets for sounding the alarm in his care. They fought against Midyan, as Adonai had ordered Moshe, and killed every male. They killed the kings of Midyan, along with the others who were slain: Evi, Rechem, Tsur, Hur, and Reva, the 5 kings of Midyan. They also killed Bilam, the son of Bor, with the sword. The people of Israel took captive the women of Midyan and their little ones, and they took as booty all their cattle, flock, and other goods. They set fire to all their cities and the areas where they lived, and all their camps. They took all the booty, all the people and animals they had captured, and brought the captives, booty and spoil, to Moshe, Eleazar the Kohen, and the community of Israel in the camp on the plains of Moab, by the Yarden, across from Jericho. Moshe, Eleazar the Kohen, and all the community leaders went to meet them outside the camp. But Moshe was angry with the army officers, the commanders of thousands, and the commanders of hundreds coming in from the battlefield. Moshe asked them, "You let the women live? Why, these are the ones who, because of Bilam's advice, caused the people of Israel to rebel, breaking faith with Adonai in the poor incident, so that the plague broke out among Adonai's community. Now kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman who has ever slept with a man. But the young girls who have never slept with a man, keep alive for yourselves. Pitch your tents outside the camp for 7 days. Whoever has killed a person or touched the corpse of someone slain, purify yourselves on the 3rd and 7th days, you and your captives. Also purify every garment, whether of skin or goat's hair, and everything made of wood." Eleazar the Kohen said to the soldiers who had gone to the front, "This is the regulation from the Torah which Adonai has ordered Moshe. Even though gold, silver, brass, iron, tin, and lead can all withstand fire, so that you are indeed to purify everything made of these materials by having them pass through fire. Nevertheless, they must also be purified with the water for purification. Everything that can't withstand fire you are to have go through the water. On the 7th day you are to wash your clothes, and you will be clean, and after that you may enter the camp. Adonai said to Moshe, Take all the booty, both people and animals, you, Eleazar the Kohen, and the leaders of clans in the community, and divide the booty into 2 parts, half for the experienced soldiers who went out to battle, and half for the rest of the community. From the portion of the soldiers who went out to battle, levy a tax for Adonai consisting of 1/500th of the persons, cattle, donkeys, and sheep. Take it from their half and give it to Eleazar the Kohen as a portion set apart for Adonai. From the half that goes to the people of Israel, you are to take 1/50th of the persons, and of the cattle, donkeys, and sheep, that is, of all the livestock, and give them to the Levi'im, taking care of the tabernacle of Adonai. Moshe and Eleazar the Kohen did as Adonai had ordered Moshe. The booty, over and above the portion which the soldiers took, came to 675,000 sheep, 72,000 cattle, 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 persons in all, consisting of the women who had never slept with a man. The half which was the portion of the soldiers who went out to fight numbered 337,500 sheep, of which Adonai's tribute was 675. Verse 37, of which Adonai's tribute was 675. 36,000 cattle, of which Adonai's tribute was 72. 30,500 donkeys, of which Adonai's tribute was 61. And 16,000 persons, of whom Adonai's tribute was 32 persons. Moshe gave the tribute set apart for Adonai to Eleazar the Kohen, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. From the half that went to people of Israel, which Moshe separated from that of the men who had gone to fight. Now the community's half consisted of 337,500 sheep, 36,000 cattle, 30,500 donkeys, and 16,000 persons. From the people of Israel's half, Moshe took 1/50th of the persons and animals, and gave them to the Levi'im, taking care of the tabernacle of Adonai, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. The officers in charge of the thousands who fought, the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds, approached Moshe and said to him, Your servants have counted all the soldiers under our command, and not one of us is missing. We have brought an offering for Adonai, what every man has obtained in the way of gold jewelry, armlets, bracelets, signet rings, earrings, and belts, to make atonement for ourselves before Adonai. Moshe and Eleazar the Kohen accepted their gold, all the jewelry, all the gold in this gift, which the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds set apart for Adonai, weighed 420 pounds. For the soldiers had taken booty, every man for himself. Moshe and Eleazar the Kohen took the gold from the commanders of thousands and of hundreds and brought it into the tent of meeting, as a reminder for the people of Israel before Adonai. Numbers, chapter 32. The descendants of Reuven and the descendants of Gad had vast quantities of livestock. When they saw that the land of Yazer and the land of Gilad were good for livestock, the descendants of Gad and of Reuven came and spoke to Moshe, Eleazar the Kohen, and the community leaders. They said, Tarot, Divon, Yazer, Nimrah, Heshbon, Ilale, Svam, Navo, and Beon, the country that Adonai conquered before the community of Israel, is livestock country, and your servants have livestock. If you regard us favorably, they went on, let this land be given to your servants as their possession, and don't have us cross the Jordan. Moshe answered the descendants of Gad and of Reuven, Are your brothers to go to war while you stay here? Besides, why are you trying to discourage the people of Israel from crossing into the land Adonai gave them? This is what your fathers did when I sent them from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. For when they went up to the Eshcol Valley and saw the land, they disheartened the people of Israel, so that they wouldn't enter the land Adonai had given them. Adonai's anger blazed up on that day, and he swore, None of the people aged 20 or more who came out of Egypt will see the land I swore to Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, because they haven't followed me unreservedly. Except Caleb the son of Yefuneh, the Kenizi, and Yehoshua the son of Nun, because they have followed Adonai unreservedly. Thus Adonai's anger blazed against Israel, so that he made them wander here and there in the desert 40 years, until all the generation that had done evil in the sight of Adonai had died out. Now you, another brood of sinners, have arisen in your father's place to increase still more the fierce anger of Adonai toward Israel. For if you turn away from him, he will leave them in the desert again, and thus you will cause the destruction of all these people. But they came up to him and said, Here we will build enclosures for our livestock and cities for our little ones, but we ourselves will be armed and ready for action to march at the head of the people of Israel, until we have brought them to their place. Our little ones will not return to our own homes, until every man in Israel has taken possession of his land for inheritance. We will not have an inheritance with them on the other side of the Arden, westward, because our inheritance has fallen to us on this side of the Arden, eastward. Moshe said to them, If you will do this, if you will arm yourself to go before Adonai to the war, and if every one of your soldiers will cross the Arden before Adonai, until he has driven out his enemies ahead of him, and if the land has been conquered before Adonai, and only after that do you return, then you will be clear before Adonai and before Israel, and this land here will be yours to possess before Adonai. But if you will not do this, then you have sinned against Adonai, and you must understand that your sin will find you out. Build cities for your little ones and enclosures for your sheep, and then do what you said you would do. The descendants of Gad and the descendants of Reuven said to Moshe, Your servants will do as my Lord orders. Our little ones, wives, flocks, and all our livestock will be there in the cities of Gilad. But your servants will cross over, every man armed for war, before Adonai to do battle, as my Lord says. So Moshe gave orders concerning them to Eleazar the Kohen, Yehoshua the son of Nun, and the clan leaders of the tribes of the people of Israel. Moshe said to them, If the descendants of Gad and of Reuven cross over the Arden with you, every man armed for battle before Adonai, and if the land is conquered before you, then you are to give them the land of Gilad as theirs to possess. But if they do not cross with you armed, they are to possess land along with you in Canaan. The descendants of Gad and of Reuven answered, We will do as Adonai has said to your servants. We will cross over into the land of Canaan armed before Adonai, and the land we will possess for inheritance will be on this side of the Arden. So Moshe gave the descendants of Gad and of Reuven, and also to the half-tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, of the king of the Emori, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the country and its cities within its borders, along with their surrounding towns. The descendants of Gad build Divon, Tarot, Aroer, Atrot Shofan, Yazer, Yogbeha, Beat Nimrah, and Beat Haran, fortified cities, and also enclosures for sheep. The descendants of Reuven built Heshbon, Ilale, Kiryatayaim, Nevo, Baal Maon, these names have been changed, and Sivma, they renamed the cities they built. The descendants of Machir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilad and conquered it, dispossessing the Emori who were there. Moshe gave Gilad the Machir, the son of Manasseh, and he lived in it. Yair, the son of Manasseh, went and captured its villages and called them Havot Yair, villages of Yair. Novach went and captured Kanat with its villages and named it Novach after himself.